Hello, Sergio speaking. Today we are going to talk about accessibility. First, let's try to define what is accessibility. Accessibility is meant to be sure that all the applications, mainly speaking about software application, are accessible for all the people, including people who have some kind of disability, like visual, audition, motor, or cognitive, or another impediment. The idea is to be sure all the applications the application that we are developing um, could be used by all the people. All these folks who have some kind of disabilities. And yeah, why that is important? That is important because based on the studies, um, we have around 50% of the population around the world with some kind of disability. So talking about business perspective, yeah, makes sense to take into the account all these people to have to be sure that they have the best experience as possible when they are using the application. But additionally, a part of that, this is a human right. This is moral because these people most of the time they face discrimination. So it's a social responsibility to avoid this problem, building software accessible for everybody. But now maybe you may asking how to achieve compliance on that. We have the Worldwide Web Consortium organization who have defined some standard. For example, the last one, the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines 2.1, um, that you can find on this page. You can see this is the site of this organization. This is the last guideline released on 2018. On this site, you will find a lot of information, a lot of things to learn about accessibility and how to achieve compliance of accessibility on software. Um, Based on that. I'm going to summarize a couple of things around all about this website. So the first important thing to mention is um, this standard have been built based on four principles. The first one is to be sure the user um, must be able to perceive the information that has been showed on the application that you are building. Also, the user should be able to have the ability to operate all the user interface that it has. Also, the information that we have should be understand by should be able to be understood um, by the user easily. All this information. And the last principle is around the access of the content of the application. So we need to achieve all these four principles to say we are compliant with accessibility in a software. And additionally, this organization have divided all these guidelines, let's say, on three levels of compliance. We have the basic one that is label A. This is the basic, the lowest level of compliance. We have something in the middle, the moderate level, the double 8. But if you want to go deeper on site, if you want to achieve the full compliance, we have the highest level, the triple eight. This is of course difficult to achieve. Many things very well detailed of the stuff that you need to achieve. But normally I would recommend to have something in the middle with a double eighth is enough to this mainly more of the user will have uh, able to have accessibility in your application if you have been achieve this level. This is enough. Um, and talking a little bit about the tools that people with disabilities could use. Yeah, we have tools about reading, reading the text and convert them to voice. Also, we have tools in the opposite wave, let's say based on the spoken word, will be convert then into the text. Also, we have a special keyword to interact with our application, or we have a special screen, for example, to zoom out for people who have vision problems, vision disability. But now let's try to focus on test. How to test, which tools we can use to test that. Especially we are looking for free tools and tools that could be integrated in our pilot, in our development process. For example, a tools that could check quickly before merging a PR to master if everything is okay related with accessibility based on the changes that we want to include in your code. And yeah, and see if everything is ready to merge or we need to improve something. And yeah, based on that I have create some kind of benchmark. I have checked a couple of things for each tool. For example, analyze if the tool is an open source, if the tool support the storybook framework. Let's analyze a little bit the if the usage of the tool, if we have a nice report. Also, if this report is very clear on the things that we need to improve in case that's if something is failing. Also, let's analyze the options to settings in the application and in the tool, and also if it support the last version of this organization. And yeah, let's see if we can integrate these tools with some automation framework like the WebDriver IO or Cypress, yeah, something like that. And now, yeah, first let's try to focus on tools that could be integrated with the storybook. So yeah, first we have this one. This tool, yeah, is an open source. Of course, it's using the storybook, and as you can see, this tool is quite uh, used by a lot of people. Um, of course, this tool is inside of the storybook, so we have a nice XML report to see that. Also, the content of the report is very nice. Is clear when something is failing, showing what need to be fixed. Yeah, we have a lot of options to customize the different kind of things, or yeah, if we, for example, if we want to include some rules or disable rules of we want to focus on a specific component inside of the HTML page. And yeah, a lot of things to personalize is possible on these tools. and yeah, of course it support the last version of this standard. And yeah, we have another one that is another tool that is quite similar to this one. Let's say the only difference is this tool is mainly focused on the CI, on the CLI, in that you can use then on terminal, and it's generate a nice report. But yeah, you can use both on then with the storybook. I really recommend that, to integrate that in your developing process, and for sure in your testing process as well, if you are using the storybook for sure. Also, we have another tools like this one, but they are, as you can see, they are no good. For example, in the use in the community, so it's not nice. Also, we have another tools that it's don't generate a nice report, so it's difficult to see uh, what things is failing, and how to improve, and yeah, and things like that. So yeah, to to conclude, yeah, I mainly recommend this one, the Axe Core. Yeah, that is something more native, talking about accessibility. Yeah, this Node.js package is an open source. Of course, it don't support a storybook, but as you can see, it's very well used for the community. Is yeah, you can for sure. We have a good support in maintenance in case that something is failing, and things like that. So we are good on this part. We don't have a very nice. We don't have, in fact, a UI XML report, but the creator of this tool have a paid version. Um, um, with this option, you have some monitor and you have some advisor. So yeah, in the future, if you want to pay it for this tool, and to be able to get more feature, yeah, you can do it, for sure. Yeah, that's also a plus if you want to invest in the future. If your company want to invest more on accessibility, you have the support of this company as well, for that. But yeah, the free version, yeah, we have a very nice report in your terminal where you can check what is failing, how to improve, and yeah, also, uh, this tool offer a lot of options to settings, what things, for example, you want to include or remove, or yeah, you can customize very well, um, the things to check, and to include, and yeah, based on the needs of your project. Of course, this tool support the last version of the standard of this organization, and for sure you can integrate that with automation framework like WebDriver IO, then Cypress, yeah, things like that. So now, yeah, let's focus in, yeah, in the demo. I will show you um, these tools on, yeah, on action, how it's working. Here I have the storybook. I already have configured the tools to integrate with the storybook. So for example, if you go here to this tab, accessibility tag, so you see this story, don't have any violation, and here you can see all the test case that have been executed, that have been checked, and yeah, all of them are passed. But for example, if we go to this story, the bottom, you can see that we have one violation. If we open it, we can realize that this is about the contracts. Um, if you see, yeah, that makes sense because the background, the border, uh, made quite difficult to read the content of the text. So for people with disability, yeah, um, could have some problems. So let's try to fix this issue. Yeah, I have the storybook running locally. Um, if we go to the style of this button, is this one. So if we try to change with something like this, I guess, um, if we go to check again, and that's it. So yeah, now we don't have any violation. Yeah, the text is better now. You can read easily. If you go to the test, yeah, all of them are passed now. And yeah, this one that was failing before now is okay. And yeah, you can check another story, and yeah, you can see we have something similar about the contract and the tests that are passing. So you can see it's nice, it's quickly to analyze the results. So yeah, we can for sure um, fix things quickly, and be sure that your application will be accessible for most of the people, especially people with disabilities. um, yeah, let's show a little bit how to set up that in your project where you are using Storybook. So here on the configuration of your Storybook, we have the preview file. Here you can put the information about this tool that has been integrated to the Storybook. And yeah, here you can customize a lot of things. For example, the different labels that you want to achieve. For example, if you in your project you only want to achieve the basic label, label 8, you can customize that quickly and like this. Or if you want to achieve both label 8 and double 8, yeah, you can do something like that. Also, you can customize the rules that you want to check. For example, if you don't want to check the contract of the story, you can disable like this. Or yeah, this is the global configuration, but you can go more specifically by a story. So for example, on this story you can um, define that your configuration inside of the story on what you want to check on this story, of what you want to exclude. For example, you want to disable, you can do it. Or if you want to go to a specific element inside of this story to check the accessibility. And yeah, this have a very good documentation. If you go to this site, yeah, you can see very good documentation how to set up your project, and yeah, the rules that you want to execute, to exclude, yeah, all this stuff is very well documented. You can check this site, and yeah, you can make happening in your project. And yeah, now let's move on to the next tool. The next tool is the um, axe core. Is this one. This is the repository of this code. Maybe, yeah, maybe let's show you something before. So about the tool with the storybook, um, you can as well, you can execute that from the terminal. um, yeah, I forgot mention that. Yeah, if you want to integrate that in your CI, in your Python, yeah, you can execute command like this, and you can see on your terminal the results of the check in all your story, the status. So as you can see, we have some issues in some of the story about accessibility based on the configuration that we have right now. So yeah, you can go check, or you can see now the results, and yeah, you can see the specific element that where we have some problems. and that specifically the date of the problems that we have, and yeah, you can see that here. Okay, yeah, now yeah, and let's move on to the next tool, that is the Access Core. In this case, I am using the WebDriver IO to interact with the storybook, with the story. In this case, this is a test to check the accessibility on this on the primary button, that you can find that on this story URL. And yeah, here is an example on how to configure that. Yeah, you can again define the labels that do you want to achieve, to check, and you can disable or enable different rules. For example, here, if you don't want to check on this component, on this story, the contract, yeah, and then use execute, and then use do some a search based on the violation that you could get based on the results. And yeah, also as well, you can configure um, a specific selector, that you where you want to check the accessibility, or you want to execute that or exclude, or yeah. So for example, let's execute these two tests that I have here. So you can see, go to the story, and that's it. Yeah, quickly I have the results of the test case, and based on that. So if we go to the code, for example, if you go here to doc, you will see that that this documentation is well detailed. You will find a lot of information. You will see all the labels that you can use, that you could want to achieve in your project, best practice, and yeah, a lot of things. Things to check about keywords, navigation or location to support different language, and yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, also a lot of options to configure, rules and reports, checks, standard. Yeah, it's a huge, but it's a well documented, yeah, all the options that you could do with this framework. So yeah, mainly that's it. That is what I wanted to show you. So yeah, um, just to conclude, yeah, you can use these two tools in your developing process based on the needs, or in your project. And yeah, now yeah, when you are developing UI, or testing UI, just try to think or imagine if you could have some visibility disability, or any disability issue. Think if you could use this application or not. That's means that if you might need to improve something or not. But yeah, always try to think in all the people, to make sure all of them could use the application that we are building. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, and yeah, see you the next time. Bye bye.